Welcome to the Billionaire Belief Show. This is Dhane, and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today's topic is invest in yourself. I want to talk about investing in yourself because I wanted to recap a great experience that I had the opportunity to have a couple weekends ago. Well, not this past weekend, but last weekend. I attended a beginner's investment workshop in Koreatown because I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired of not understanding the stock market, stocks, and investing. So I finally pulled the trigger and told myself, it's time to put some money up. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. It's time to invest in yourself. So that's what I did. Went to the event. It was great. Learned a lot of information. Finally got the clarity that I had personally been searching for in regards to understanding what the stock market was from a conceptual perspective, and then B, understanding the different types of investment vehicles at my disposal, and then C, realizing that I don't have to be Warren Buffett to get involved and to be successful. So I want to take this time to let you know that when it comes to you needing to learn something so you can move forward in your life, so you can move the needle forward, through my own personal experience, I've just come to the realization that at the end of the day, it's been the moments where I decided to put money up is when I got the best results. It's been the moments in my life where I decided that, I've been trying to figure it out on my own. I've read the books, I've watched the videos, I've had a few conversations with people who I thought were in the game but really weren't. I've put some time into trying to figure this thing out on my own, and I've invested a lot of time trying to figure this thing out on my own, and you just have to get to that point where you realize, okay, something's got to give. I've been trying to figure this stuff out and it ain't working. So let me just go pay somebody to tell me what I need to know so that I can start moving forward. And that's exactly what happened, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go over I'm going to recap the event towards the end of the podcast, but that is exactly what has happened to me. And more often than not in my life, the moments where I am, how should I say this? The moments where I put the hat on or the moments when I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got to figure this out. I got to figure this out so I can show somebody else how to do it, or so I can feel more confident in being able to do it myself. And if I do just try to figure it out without spending any money, those are usually the moments in my life and through my journey that I didn't really produce results. And secondly, it took me a long time, which means that I'm not going to say I wasted time, but I could have been 10 times more efficient and effective with my time if I had just paid someone to do it. So realize that a lot of times, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times that we have to be mindful of our desire to want to figure things out, because I do believe that being a self-starter, you know that you don't necessarily need anybody to, give you the rundown in a sense. All you're really looking for is a framework, and you can work within that framework yourself because you understand how to learn and figure things, or you believe in your ability to learn and figure things out. So you just want people to be able to give you a blueprint, a roadmap, an outline of something, and just say, all right, so you want to get from A to Z. Well, here's the outline, here's a framework, here's a blueprint to get from A to Z. Just follow it step by step and you'll get there. And boom, you're good to go. That's how I look at a self-starter, as myself, and more than likely you, the listener, you're more than likely a self-starter as well. So I just remember when after I read my first copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad and got hella inspired and hella motivated to want to achieve financial freedom. I read the book, but But like a lot of people who I've spoken to who have read the book as well, after you finish it, it's like, okay, I now understand that I need to build and keep a strong asset column. So assets, all right, I understand that assets are, there's really roughly two types of assets that I'm trying to acquire in my life. I'm trying to buy assets that will be able to provide me with portfolio income. So i.e., for example, stocks, bonds, financial securities at the end of the day, titles, things of that nature. And so that's my portfolio income. I get that. And then next it was, okay, a passive income. So owning assets like rental properties, business franchises, as well as small businesses, for example, like a restaurant. I got that aspect of what Rich Dad Poor Dad was talking about. But what ultimately led me to a point of confusion, which ultimately had me, stagnant for some time, was, okay, how do I go buy some stocks? How do I go buy some rental properties? How do I start a business? How do I do these things that I am now aware that I need to do? Like, where is the roadmap? Where is the outline? Where is the blueprint? And ultimately, as I learned from my own personal experience, there isn't necessarily a one-size-fits-all strategy when it comes to building and keeping a strong asset column so you can achieve financial freedom, so that you can break your family cycle of poverty, so that your loved ones can have the income protection required in the event that you're not the leader of the family, the head of the house, if you're not there physically because you're hurt or by death. You just want to be prepared at the end of the day. So I didn't know how, though. And when I was talking, as I began to express my frustrations with others, I began to see that they didn't know how either. So that kind of, put me in a hyperdrive in regards to investing in myself. And so that's really, I think that was roughly around 2010 is when I really started getting heavy into trying to figure this stuff out. So like you said, I'm not going out to the club no more with my frat brothers and my homies. I'm not hanging out with the homies in my quote unquote free time as much as I used to. I'm reading more books, watching more videos, I'm buying courses, and I don't want to just stop right there, because naturally, if anybody's been in the game, the wealth game, long enough, then you've seen the ads, you've seen all of the products that are out there, tons of people telling you that they have the secret. And the reality is I'm willing to bet that some of these people, they genuinely do have a system. And if you did put the time to figure it out, learn their system, and then replicate it exactly how they've instructed you to, then you will produce some results. But unfortunately, that's just not how we operate as human beings. More often than not, and I'm guilty of this myself, we see these ads online, or we hear them on the radio, or we see them on TV, and we get excited. Okay, this is going to be the key. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go to this event. I feel this event is going to help me figure out how to make a bunch of money so I could buy some assets. And so we go into the event. Let's just say whether you go to the event, and you like I said, when you get in there, the first hour or so, it's making you feel good. You're feeling hella motivated, hella inspired, and then you feel the next person comes on, and you feel a little motivated and inspired, and the next person comes on, and you feel motivated and inspired. And granted, they're sharing their stories, their experiences, but you're really not getting the information that you either paid to go to that seminar to receive, or that free ticket that they offer. You're not getting the information that you're really there for. Yeah, the inspiration, the motivational portions of it is great and all, but you're there to figure out a system. You're there to learn the blueprint. But what you ultimately come to realize is that blueprint, that system, that outline that they told you that you were going to learn if you just came to their seminar, it's actually a product that you have to buy, which is significantly more than the free ticket that you quote unquote paid for with your email address, or the $100 entry fee that you paid for. You know, they're asking for $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000, and like I said, albeit I have invested in some of these programs in the past, but like I said, what ultimately ends up happening is you invest in the product, and you get home, and you're already overwhelmed from the day off top. But then now it's like, okay, I got this 2,000 page packet to go through. So the psychological burden of 1,000 pages of material that you got to go through already, in a sense, subconsciously, you've already turned your mind off to that. And so then you tell yourself, okay, let me just put this course right here on the table. Let me just kind of calm down and, just kind of calm down from the day and kind of like go over some of these notes that I got and before I open this course. And then life happens, you're back into your repetition of waking up, going to work. If you got kids, doing that, hanging out with your buddies, yada, yada, yada. Then week after week after week after week passes. You're looking every time you come home, or every time you pass the room where you put the product down. You're just looking at it like, damn, that's $1,000 I spent. That's just not going anywhere. The reality is that's $1,000 I put on my credit card for more often than not, and it's not being used. It's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on my credit card, and it's not getting used. Until finally you ultimately experience what most people have termed and labeled buyer's remorse, where eventually you just say, I spent all this money on this product and it didn't even help me do nothing. And then we kick that product to the curb, and maybe we have a confidence crisis, or we might experience this moments of depression, until we see another ad online, on the TV, on the radio, that basically tells us that they have the key to success. And if you just buy their program or come to their event, you will have all the information you need to achieve financial freedom. And then the cycle begins all over again. And then you go into the event, you get hella inspired, motivated, and then they tell you that you got to buy this $10,000, $5,000, $3,000 course, and if you don't, then you're not really serious. And so then now, once again, it's like the emotions of it all are just, I gotta, if I really want to do this, then I'm gonna make this sacrifice. And then you buy another program, and like you said, the cycle repeats itself. So that was my experience. I'm pretty some of you have experienced feeling embarrassed, feeling 10 times more confused, unsure, and unconfident, because it's just like, damn, I still didn't figure it out. I still don't feel like I have the keys. I still don't feel like I have the knowledge to buy these, to build and keep a strong asset column. And so then, like you said, you might give up, and you gotta, like I said, I like to define them as confidence crises, where you kind of just give up, and you stop, you lose your inspiration and your motivation, and then you get back to just living by default, which is ultimately to consume. And then the cycle just continues. And then you got people who stop, and then you got people like me, I believe, who are just like, there's something that I'm not doing right. There's some questions that I'm not asking properly. There's some people I just need to I still need to figure this stuff out. So let me now, instead of trying to go to these different courses, instead of trying to go buy all these products, let me just go find somebody who I can touch, who is in that game that I want to be in. And whether it's I have to buy and here's the thing, more often than not, ladies and gentlemen, I'll fill you in on a little secret that I've started to realize. A lot of people who have the financial assets that you aspire to have yourself, they are willing and ready to share. Believe it or not, they want to share. They want to give you the information. Now, understand that they don't want their time wasted. So that is why, one of the main reasons why they do charge for a one-on-one, because they don't want their time dicked around, but they are willing to show you the how they did it. and they are willing to mentor you. But obviously, you have to have something of value to offer them, but they are willing to help. So you got to put the time in to figure out who these individuals are so that you can get in contact with them and figure out what y'all can do to what can be done so that you can get what you want out of them. And then you figuring out what they're working on so that you could then figure out what value that you can offer them. And then boom, make it do what it do. And so all of what I've just described is you investing in yourself at the end of the day, with your time, with your effort, with your energy, and with your money. You have to invest in yourself. You have to learn. You have to never stop learning. You just, and it never stops. So psychologically, mentally, and from a mentality perspective, mindset perspective, you have to ultimately get to the point in your mind where you convince yourself that life is never going to be complete. Life is always going to be a matter of repetitions. So it's just whether you're doing a 9 to 5, you own your own business, you are an investor, you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't really matter. It's just about getting your reps up. So put yourself in the position to where you enjoy the type of reps that you're putting up on a weekly basis. That's what's going to make your life more fulfilling. But when it specifically comes to investing in yourself, like I said, you gotta give yourself new information because things are changing all the time. And here's the analogy and the metaphor I should say that I always like to use. This is 2019. We all have smartphones. Kids have smartphones. My 2-year-old nephew, he has his own tablet and he knows how to use it. He will get my phone. He blew my mind when he did this, but somehow he had been peeping my password out for my phone, and he figured it out, and then he got my phone out of my hand one time, put my password in, and went to play a game. Went to the Google Play Store, figured out where the games were, and was trying to download the games so he can play it. This kid is 2 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm saying that to say that you have the ability to learn and figure things out. If a 2-year-old can figure that out, like you as an adult can figure anything out. But going back to the point, investing in yourself. So you got to understand that, we all have these things called smartphones, and, everything we need is in the palm of our hand now. We can access any form of information that we want, literally from the palm of our hand. All we just have to do is know what we want to look for. Seek and ye shall find. That's pretty much the premise. So, what I'm saying? When you're investing in yourself, like I said, it's about getting your information updated. So going back to the metaphor, think of your brain like your smartphone. And just like your smartphone, it gets updates every now and then, every so often. If you have an Android, you'll get the thing where it says you have a system update. You want to install now or you want to install later. And I know through on Apple products, it's pretty much the same. You get the little update. Hey, there's a new update for your operating system. Boom, what I'm saying? Get started right now. And our minds operate the same way. So through millions of years of evolution, the mind has an operating system on it. It's called our instincts. But those things are, in a sense, in our subconscious, not necessarily our conscious mind, but nevertheless, they're still there. So the OS is already there. The basic building blocks of your operating system are already there. It's just a matter of you understanding that you need to give yourself the system updates. So finances, for example, that's all we talk about, business and finance here at Billionaire Belief. Business and finance, like from the moment your mother births you into this world through her womb, like you're learning all the time. You might not necessarily understand what it is you're seeing or you're hearing, but nevertheless, this information is still being gathered by your minds, and it's just getting put in your mind for you later on down the line to learn some stuff so you can understand how to categorize this information that you now have. But like I said, the mind operates the same way like a smartphone, but the only difference is it's like we have to give ourselves the update. So the update represents an investment in ourselves, because like I said, we're going to have to read books. We're going to have to watch videos. We're going to have to attend events. We're going to have to talk to people. And every time we engage in those activities, we are getting system updates. Our operating system is being updated. So going back to my point earlier of life is never complete. It's all about repetition. So you have to repetitiously invest in yourself day in and day out. Things as simple, like you said, as reading the like, for example, you want to invest in stocks, so you read websites like Investopedia. Even if it's just something you might want to learn about PE ratios, so you spend a day reading about PE ratios on Investopedia.com. That's an investment in yourself, but you have to take that serious and understand and value that, though, ladies and gentlemen. So, all in all, when it comes to investing in yourself, you have to give yourself the investment. No one's going to come around and say, like I said, no one's going to deliver your mind a system update like Android and Apple will. Like, you have to be Android and Apple and figure out, okay, I'm at point A right now. I'm basically living paycheck to paycheck. I got some credit card debt. I got some student loans, and I don't want that stuff no more. So let me give myself a system update and learn what I need to do with the time, money, and effort and energy that I have right now to improve my reps so that I can get myself out of this situation. And then you go learn it, and then you put what you learn into action. And it's just that simple. So invest in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I don't really know any other way of saying it, but invest in yourself with use your time to, like I said, give yourself system updates, and also use your money to give yourself system updates, but as well, just to shorten or steepen your learning curve. But with that being said, like I said, I did go to the investors workshop, and I kind of just wanted to recap real quick what I learned, and hopefully you can find the value in that I did. But all in all, more often than not, you're gonna probably have to start investing in start building your portfolio income streams up first through ownership of stocks, bonds, etc. So let's just talk about that real briefly. Like I said, I went to a beginner's investment workshop, Martin Luther King weekend, great event, hosted by a gentleman named Johnny Lee. He's an investor dad, business owner here in LA. But he just basically talked about, like I just said before, portfolio income, obviously being represented by the stocks, bonds, etc. that you buy. But most importantly, the first point that I wrote down was most investing is emotional. What I mean by that is that you have to understand that it's all speculation. Believe it or not, it's all speculation. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything and everyone, it's purely just speculation. So with that being said, you have to realize that you can't allow your emotions to get the best of you. So be rational, think things through. Don't let your emotions to make you make decisions that probably aren't going to be good for you. Next good point he made was be patient. Obviously, it goes without saying, the difference between investing and trading, or I'll take that back. What most people think is investing is actually trading. So if you ask most people, like, oh, stock investing, they're probably gonna. What do you when you hear the word stock investing? What do you see, or what do you see? And more than likely, they'll say, yeah, there's like a man sitting in front of a desk with like 6 monitors, and he's tracking the. That's actually trading. That's not stock investing. If trading is your thing, by all means do it. But if you want to invest, investing is about the long-term horizon. So we're talking 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Like, that's what you're investing for, not like this week, today, or next 2 weeks. So got another difference between investing and trading. Like I said, trading ultimately means you're in and out, whereas investing means you buy and hold at the end of the day. Another good point he said, then this was what really was like the aha moment for me. When you do invest in companies, what you're ultimately doing is you're hiring some of the best companies in the world who are the best at multiplying money to multiply your money. So that's why you have to focus on a long-term horizon, a long-term outlook when it comes to stock investing, because it's not about the short-term fluctuations. So Monday I buy stock A, B, and C for $50, and by Friday it's going down to $47. A lot of people, all their emotions get the best of them. Oh, I lost $3 a share. I need to sell. And if you do sell, then you will have lost. But it's about the long-term game, because I'm willing to bet 5, 10, 15 years down the line, that same share that I bought for $50 is probably gonna be worth a lot more than $50. But all in all, $50. But that was a good point that he made. Like, when you invest in the stock market, what you're really ultimately doing is you're hiring the best companies in the world who are the best at multiplying money to multiply your money. And next, some tax stuff. Obviously, taxes, no one likes them. But when you earn income, capital gains specifically, through portfolio income streams, you're going to be taxed at a significantly lower rate than if you earned the income through your time and by exchanging your time for money. And that's why you invest. That's one of the main reasons why you invest, is because you want to get taxed at a lower rate. But you can only get that rate if you're earning the income through, in this case, portfolio income, or owning stocks and bonds and things like that pay dividends and that pay interest throughout the year, over a year's time. And lastly, ETFs. So ETFs are basically people who start a fund to track an index, i.e. The S&P 500, and then you're buying shares of that fund that is tracking the index, so that you don't necessarily have to figure out how to pick stocks individually yourself. Because that's one of the things that had me confused initially, was like, okay, I want to invest in stocks, but what stocks do I buy? Like, how do I do this? And I didn't know how to do that, and I was very confused about how to do that. But it is what it was. And so because I was confused, I just didn't do it, because I feared losing money. But the reality is unless you have the time to really, evaluate these companies and research these companies and really put the time, like a Warren Buffett, who does spend 8 hours a day doing this stuff, or these fund managers who spend all day doing this stuff, then your best bet is going to be to buy some ETFs. So if you like healthcare as a sector, technology, renewable energies, consumer staple goods, whatever your thing is, there's an ETF for it. So you just got to go find that ETF, and there's probably going to be more than one. So how do you choose ETFs? It basically comes down to, you just got to make sure you check there's more to it, but the basics is expense ratio, tracking performance, as well as capital gain stuff and tax stuff. And so that was pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Invest in yourself. I don't know how many other ways to say that. Invest in yourself. Pay yourself first. Get started. There is a way out. So, as always, to recap real quick, invest in yourself. And more often than not, the stock market is going to be probably your first entry into buying assets. So, learn this stuff, figure it out. There's tons of resources out there. Hit me up. I can point you into some directions for us to tap into some of the resources that I personally am using to learn how to invest and to invest. I am in the market now. I have purchased my first share of an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So I am officially in the game now, and I'm just looking forward to building my portfolio out and making it do what it do. So as always, make sure that you follow us on Instagram at BBWCN. That's the hub. If you don't have it already, make sure you go and download the free financial education study guide, which you can find through at BBWCN on Instagram. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a stranger, to tell a friend about us. And if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm here to help. I love you. As always, make it a great day. Dhane Diesel out.